All right, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. It's your good friend Pozzible here, and I'm back in action with another quick movie review for you, and that is of the movie review for Chef. Jon Favreau, forgive me, I might be mispronouncing that name, is basically writing and directing this very simple movie just to have a good down-home film. Nothing too special, okay? Nothing too outrageous. It was just a simple story about a chef who loses his mojo and gets it back after getting his own little restaurant slash food truck. And that's basically it. You know, it's so funny because this is one of those movies that made me think personally because, you know, I try to be a film critic and the whole thing is based off of him getting bashed by a film critic. A food critic, mind you, not a film critic. So I felt good about that. You know, and it's so funny. The show kind of dated itself because, you know, Twitter, he was just discovering Twitter, he was discovering social media. That was an interesting element in this movie. I was not expecting that kind of storyline where because he was on Twitter and stuff, he became very popular and everything. That was his own thing. He also went viral. So there's a lot of, you know, internet stuff in here too. But it's a sweet down-home story. It was just, you know, one thing I do have to admit there was a small problem with. Sofia Vergara. And forgive me if I mispronounce that name as well. I am very bad at pronouncing names, if you haven't noticed. It's just very hard to believe that she married him. But that's a small thing. I was willing to let that go. But, you take that. He's a divorcee. He's a single father. The movie had some really good moments. Now, I will have to say this one complaint, okay? Near the end, it drags. There are some things about this movie that this was a 2-hour movie. You could have made it 90 minutes. You could have made it, 15 minutes left because there were this part near the end where it just went too long. All right, they stretched things out just a little too much. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is one of those breath of fresh air when it comes to summer movies full of explosions and gun violence and, stupid movies and stupid humor and stuff. This is more of a movie meant for the fall, meant for more of a relaxed time. I'm glad they put it out in theaters during the summertime because it kind of broke up the monotony that we get of all the shooting and violence and everything. Also, I love the fact that so many people who were involved in Iron Man came into this movie. You have Robert Downey Jr. who had a nice little part. You had Scarlett Johansson in her part. And the biggest shock to me, because you know me, I don't like to know a lot about a movie. Dustin Hoffman. I did not know Dustin Hoffman was going to be in it. Of course, he was awesome as always. So for good, clean fun, this movie still got rated R. And I actually was very much upset about that. I think this movie could have done gangbusters if they would have just taken out some of the more rated R elements because they were useless things. They're like smoking a joint, drinking beer, smoking, a few cuss words here and there, But all into all, this is not as wrong for kids as other things that we have put out in theaters lately. Okay, in my opinion. So when it comes to Chef, it didn't have to be rated R. I understand he wanted to stick with his artistic vision, but Chef is definitely a see it. It is definitely just a simple, enjoyable movie. If there's anything else that's probably wrong with Chef, is the idea that it's out in theaters, and this is something you can easily see on anything. You can watch it on your iPhone, and it won't lose its effect. This isn't like, I don't know, Spider-Man or X-Men or Gravity. You watch Gravity on your little iPhone, and it's not the same as seeing it in a theater. This one doesn't really have to go for that. Good, clean movie, enjoyable movie. It basically, if I were to sum it up into one word, Chef, it's honesty. It never went over the top. It kept a nice basic flow. And it had heart. And it never did anything that made you go, oh, why did they put that in there? Or, geez, I don't see that ever happening. Like I said, the only problem I had was ultimately just that it was long in one part. I was surprised When I sat down to Chef, I was not looking forward to Chef. I was thinking to myself, God, this is going to be such a boring movie. But when Chef finally got started, I found myself just embraced by its charm and sincerity and just its ease of, or it's very organic. The word I also used to describe this was that everything that happened in Chef was so organic. You could really see this happening, and it was done very well. It never really had a laugh out loud moment. There were some chuckles here and there, but nothing that floored me with laughter. But it wasn't really supposed to be that much of kind of a comedy. It's supposed to be the kind of comedy you sit down and enjoy. You know, it's just a fun, simple movie, and in this day and age of high special effects and franchises, Chef is a breath of fresh air. So I hope you guys see it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you at the theaters.